Happy Valentine's Day. So you're single, and it's Valentine's Day, and the rest of your friends are going out and about, having fun, going on dates, and you're sitting here watching me. I'm guessing that's probably what's happening right now. Being single on Valentine's Day isn't fun. I get it, I'm also single. That's why I'm making this video. I wouldn't be hating on this day if I didn't have a partner, would I? But really, why am I making this video? Well, as a single guy, most tips that I read online about being single always just fall down to love yourself. Well, yeah, I've been loving myself. I've been doing it for weeks. What am I supposed to do? So, before I talk about my experience of being single on Valentine's Day, let's take a look at what Valentine's Day actually is. Valentine's Day, also called Saint Valentine's Day, is when lovers express their affection with greetings and gifts. That's the simplified answer. It originated as a Christian feast day honoring a martyr named Saint Valentine. One story associated with him was that he defied the emperor Claudius II's orders and secretly married couples to spare their husbands from war. Essentially, if you were a single guy, you were gonna get sent to the big, strong, scary men fight, while if you were a married husband, you could just stay at home. You're perfectly fine. That's why people celebrate his feast day as the Feast of Love. Now, Valentine's Day in the future is a day where we celebrate love, but very specifically, love of monogamous, romantic relationships. In media, a lot of films, books, and even music hammer this in a lot. One really old metaphor that I found dates all the way back to Aristophanes, a Greek comic playwright of the 1st century. In one of Aristophanes' plays, it was said that humans had 4 arms, 4 legs, 1 head, 2 faces. The 2 similar faces could only see in the opposite directions, with 4 ears and 2 sets of genitalia. Essentially, 2 people in one ball-like body. Zeus, the god of the sky, was like, oh, damn, these people with all their extra parts and their, stuff and, ball bodies, they're pretty strong. I must smite them. And essentially just snap them in half so that they could be, the humans that we are right now. This was given as an explanation as to why when romantic partners find each other, they run and they embrace each other, always cuddling and kissing and stuff. The theory is that these displays of affection are essentially these 2 people, these 2 lovers wanting to conjoin and become that one thing again. There is a video game that I play called Fear and Hunger, where essentially if you want to conjoin 2 people together so that they can become one stronger thing, you have to perform an act of love on a sacrificial circle, and I love that idea of it. As if you ask me, that idea of 2 lovers essentially literally becoming one is a super interesting idea, but that's not the topic for today's video. I don't want to talk about 2 people becoming one. I want to talk about one person remaining one. And again, while these are pretty cute explanations and they are not heteronormative, you can still have 2 guys and 2 girls and this story would still work, but it is amatonormative. Now, if you don't know what amatonormative means, don't worry, that's what this video is here for. Amatonormativity is essentially the belief that all human beings want love or romance, especially by a monogamous long-term marriage. The term was first coined by Elizabeth Brake in her 2011 book, Minimizing Marriage, Morality, and the Law. Society in general has a lot of amatonormative beliefs, especially the older generation. So you produce more of the bloodline, you gotta have more kids, keep that train coming up there, more little babies. And if you probably mention to any other person, I don't want to be in a relationship, or if you feel that you don't need a partner to complete your life, you'll get responses like, you just haven't met the right one, it's not the right person. You're probably just really cold-hearted on the inside. Well, what are you gonna leave in the world if you don't have kids? What legacy are you gonna leave? Come on, man, why you don't wanna settle? I know people out there, they're not perfect, but you gotta settle, man. Otherwise what? You can't have a family, man. Family's the final goal, na? It's really tiring having to deal with this. it starts getting to your head, and before you know it, you'll start hating yourself and starting to date random people that you find. It lasts for like 2 weeks, and you'll go and cycle between so many people, and you'll put yourself in a downward spiral of hating yourself because of the fact that you haven't found someone yet. And everyone starts to imply that that's the only thing you need to just find someone and end it. Because you don't have your better half yet, you're useless, you're worthless, you're incomplete, you are not done yet. Your life is still in the early stages, and once you have that better half, that final partner, okay, then it's done, you're fine, your life will be completely fine then. That's not what it is. So the question is, how do we deal with being single in a society that is biased towards having monogamous romantic relationships? And how does it relate to Valentine's Day? So, like what I said before, Valentine's Day really specifically focuses on celebrating what society deems as the perfect relationship, a socially acceptable couple, a monogamous pair that grows old together, gets married, has a lot of kids, and hopefully one of them will get an engineering degree and provide you with lots and lots of money. Of course, if you want that in your love life, nobody's stopping you. I'm not saying it's bad to have a normal relationship, I'm just pointing out a few things. And none of it is your fault if you want to be in a relationship where you have one partner and you grow old together. That's not a bad thing. I'd say personally, it's pretty cute to see that type of stuff happening. You go. When our society, yes, I know I've said society a billion times now, but when our society looks at people who don't conform these rules of these rules of romance, those people are then outcast. They are just treated badly compared to everyone else. Like in India, if you're single, living is practically hell on earth. And I know polyamorous people aren't amatonormative either, like they also fit the bill of people who don't follow specific romantic norms that society has essentially said that's the best thing for us. But this video specifically wants to focus on aromantic asexual people and people who are just single by choice. Now, aromantic asexual people, I'm gonna break those words down for you. Aromantic people are essentially people who cannot feel romantic attraction. If I was aromantic, then I would be looking at someone and be like, yup, that's a pretty cool friend. Even if they're really hot, even if they're like the best life partner according to the checklists that I might have made up in my brain, I just wouldn't feel romantically attracted to them. I wouldn't feel like I need to share this unending, undying love, romantic love for them. That would not be happening. Asexual people are essentially also like aromantic people. The only difference is asexual people don't feel sexual attraction, and most asexual people aren't aromantic. Like some of them can feel romantic feelings, but they just don't wanna have sex or do sexual activities. While I would say aromantic people also do that type of thing where they may not feel romantic attraction, but they may feel sexual attraction. Those are two different bags of worms that I don't want to really open up right now, but I just want you to understand that there are people out there who don't feel sexually attracted to anything, who don't feel romantically attracted to anything, and people who don't get attracted to both, and they're real, they exist, and we need to talk about them. In India specifically, there's a lot of discrimination towards single people because of the fact that they're unmarried. See, marriage in India is specifically looked at as a stage in life which you have to complete once you're done with your education or something. It's not a choice whether you want to get married or not, you have to do it. If you're single and you're not married at the ripe age of like 25 or something, you are essentially labeled as commitment phobic. Oh, you're too scared of committing to someone? Oh, what a loser. Or essentially you'll also be labeled as self-centered, that you only want to look for yourself. You don't have humane feelings like sharing is caring, when those are two different things entirely. And the average age for marriage in India is 26 for both men and women. And I know that I'm 17 right now, I'm turning 18, but this thing sucks. I know some people who are 23, 24, mostly through family friends, who are still single, and every time they're at like a family party or something, they're like, hey, you didn't get your girl or what, lah? No, sir, I didn't get my girl. I am completely happy staying at my job, which gets me a lot of money, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But you don't got the girlfriend? You don't got the wife? No wife? This isn't the only form of discrimination though. There's also the fact that you may not even get a house, a place to live. There's this phenomenon in local housing societies where you can pretty much be denied a flat or a place to live in if you're living on your own, if it's a rental or if you're purchasing. But this isn't sometimes a hard deny where they just outright say no to you. It's just that they keep asking, will you live with a partner? Do you have a friend with you who will come and visit? And if you don't, you'll have to start pretending that you do, otherwise society is gonna look at you weirdly. This was the case for Snehal Srivastava. She was a woman who wanted to find a flat to live on her own. She was a single woman. She was discriminated. Someone even told her, you should start pretending that you do have a partner, otherwise life's gonna suck for you. Maybe that couple meant something out of the kindness of their hearts, but it is still a little bit malicious. Why do you have to pretend that you don't have a partner or you just don't have a friend to live with? There's also essentially the case of being a single parent. I really do not want to downplay how difficult it is to be a parent, and not even a single parent. Like, I know what my parents had to go through when they gave birth to this beautiful guy. Being a single parent is like really much more difficult. So if there are people out there who are single, I don't want to say it's a bad choice to not have a partner, but y'all are really brave and y'all are really like strong. That's the only word I can say to describe you guys. But even though I may describe these people as strong, people might still think, oh, you're a single parent. Did you lose someone? I'm talking specifically about, people who are single by choice. They don't want to have a romantic partner and they still adopt. Or people who are divorced and are kind of happy living on their own without their partner. Sometimes it's a weird mix. There's being a single parent, and the circumstances that get you to that are a variety of different things. Sometimes those parents do want a romantic partner and it's just a bit difficult for them to do so. Those kids outside are screaming, and I'm sorry if you had to hear that. That's annoying if you hear it in the video. I'm really sorry about that. Being a single parent might be really difficult and tiring, and they'll say that to you if you ask them, but their genuine opinions, what they say behind single parents' backs, are always different. Always society has these problems. I hate society. There are so many things I can talk about if you asked me about people being discriminated against because they're single, but I don't want to get off topic. So now I want to talk about how Valentine's Day talks about amatonormativity. You know how movies have this male and female character? Normally they are a pair and they go on an adventure, they do something. It doesn't really matter what the story is. Essentially, these guys are doing something. That's the most important part. And all of a sudden, their relationship is romantic. These people who were just talking to each other really normally before, now they're like kissy, missy, mama? Nah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? You know how they always try to shoehorn in some weird romantic feelings between two people who just may be friends with each other? Yeah, society kind of works like that, and it's much worse on Valentine's Day. If you're a guy with a friend who's a girl, then whoa, look at the hot new couple over there. Oh my god, check them out. And the reason why Valentine's Day makes this worse is because of all of the celebrations and focus on romantic relationships, making it a special day for your partner. Is that if you have a partner, you gotta do this. It's important. So for people who don't have partners, it's essentially spitting in your face and telling you, oh, you don't got one of these? You're worthless. You die. Of course, I'm playing it up for the camera right now, but it does make you feel a little bad. I don't have anyone to show my love to, you might think. And this is also something I've thought of. That's why I was desperate to have a girlfriend every time February rolled around. I wanted to be a little romantic boy with hearts in my eyes, like a stupid little anime boy. But I guess little Keem didn't have that choice, did he? This was obviously before I came to peace with the fact that, being single ain't all that bad. It's actually kind of decent. You don't have to keep hitting yourself over the head to get someone else just for the namesake of, hey guys, this is my girlfriend. You can see this happening in modern society now. A lot of people get girlfriends or boyfriends or partners when they don't really want that in their lives, or they're not ready for it. Trust me, I've had that experience. There's very little single people representation in Valentine's media, and we should do more about that. There should be more focus on familial and non-romantic love on Valentine's Day, and people need to celebrate that too. And not to denounce romance, but to say, hey, maybe romance isn't the be all end all. Maybe you got your family, your friends. And so being single on Valentine's Day kind of hurts. And that's it. Yeah, that's really all that I can say. So you might think, did you just make this video to say that being single is fine, but Valentine's Day is the reason why a lot of single people feel bad? No, but also, yeah, there are a lot of singles out there, especially when I'm talking about aromantic and asexual people who don't know that yet. So it's kind of dangerous to show those people, hey, you need to start getting romantic or doing le romantic thing, kiss, hug, cuddle, go on date, eat dinner with person. When in reality they maybe don't even want that. And I'm not someone who is aromantic or asexual. I'm someone who I'm a romantic person. I'm not aromantic. But I kind of agree with some of these things. I agree that, I'm single right now. I would like to be in a relationship, but right now, in this point in time in my life, I am single by choice. I don't think I need to necessarily get into a relationship right now because I'm comfortable in where I am. You know what that means? And yeah, it's something that it hurts. I have some ace friends and they say stuff like, I have some people in my family who are like, why don't you get a girlfriend? That seems a bit weird. Why? Hey, dude, why didn't you get laid yet? I'm sorry to use those words. I know the word getting laid isn't a swear or anything, but those are things people say. Hey, you didn't, especially for guys. And if you're a teenage guy and you're feeling like, hey, I don't think I necessarily need to do this right now. I don't think I need to be in this sort of, circle where everyone's going out and having fun, making out. I don't think I need to do that. And if your friends find that out about you, especially very generic teenage boys, they be like, you're not doing that anymore? Man, you suck. You a loser. So, what can I say? You might think, well, aren't there any tips for what single people can do to celebrate Valentine's Day romantically? Well, actually, yes. I don't think that we should be wallowing in our own sadness because society has essentially commodified and capitalized this holiday, which was supposed to be made for love. We can have something called self-love. And I said this in the beginning of the video. Self-love tips kind of sound really not genuine. They don't sound like they make sense. They sound incredibly generic. Love yourself. Watch a movie. Read a book. Yeah, but I've watched movies before. I'm still crying during those movies. I sat down to watch Puss in Boots and I found out they divorced. I was crying for 3 hours. The movie is 2 hours. What tips can I give for people who really want to feel happy on Valentine's Day? Or for single people to appreciate Valentine's Day as a source of love, but without it being specifically romantic love? Well, self-love exists. Self-love is giving yourself the things that you like and doing what makes you happy. But it's a little more nuanced than that. It isn't just do happy thing over and over. I'm hitting a button. This button makes me happy. This will increase my happy counter. It's not that. We have to first understand and realize romance isn't the only form of love. And being single by choice doesn't mean you're a lone wolf who would rather live on their own. Why did you do that? You can still feel lonely and want love. The difference is you want platonic love, you want familial love, and that's a different feeling than romantic love, but it can still fill the same hole that you feel in your heart when you feel lonely. That's the thing. There are a lot of opinion pieces online where people try and show, well, here's why being single is much better than romantic love. There are a lot of opinion pieces online where people try and say, well, being single is actually way better than romantic love. And yeah, get rid of your girlfriend and throw her in the dustbin. And even though I respect those opinions, and this video is justifying that same opinion that being single is not as bad as romance, that being single should not be viewed as less than romance. I don't agree with the idea that one is better than the other. I don't like showing off that one option is always gonna be better than the other. Romance or being single. What I really want people to do is to learn that both are good and valid, and that sometimes some people fit this better, some people fit that better. At least I feel that if we had that sort of discussion, it would make online talks about love and romance and how to take care of your significant others a much better place. I believe that romantic love and self-love are both good things. They can and will coexist with each other. It's not like one is gonna destroy the other if you pick one in life. You can romantically love someone while also loving yourself. But right now, this video is about people who don't romantically love. Self-love also encompasses not just what we do for ourselves, but how we think of ourselves. Just imagine a different person doing things for you, but you can do those things to yourself instead. I'm not talking about, oh, you know how a different person hugs you? Well, just hug yourself instead. This doesn't feel great, but I'm essentially talking about, how you want people to treat you nicely. Like, I kind of hope that this person, they talk to me nicely today, or they say good things about me. Well, self-love is essentially doing that to yourself. Hey, maybe I should treat myself with a little bit more kindness or compassion. Maybe I should be saying better things about myself to myself. That's why people do these things called affirmations in the morning, where they wake up, they look at themselves in the mirror and say, you are going to do this. You are going to be successful. You are loved for. You are cared for. You are a good person. And that helps. I'm someone who started recently doing that, and it helps me go through my day. It gives me some feeling of at least being able to survive and go on with life. Right now, because I'm in college, I'm a college student, there's a lot of things happening, balancing this and that, and it's scary, okay? Even right now, I'm kind of just worrying about what's gonna happen to a few assignments in the future while I record this video, and it's scary. But those affirmations work. They help. Of course, again, when I talk about kindness and love, I don't mean treating myself to a cake every 2 hours of a day because that's what I feel like doing. But just be a nice person to yourself. And this also goes for everyone. I am not saying being a nice person to yourself only and screwing everyone else. Be a nice person to everyone. Niceness helps. Okay, just being a bad person and making really bad jokes about other people and their identities and the people that they are isn't good or helpful. Don't do that. Trust me, I don't like that at all. And no one else will. Some people might equate self-love to narcissism, like, oh, you're just a narcissist if you do this. No, you kind of suck, you're a bad poopy person. But in reality, they're pretty different. Narcissists believe they are better than everyone else, and they won't acknowledge flaws or take responsibilities for their mistakes. They also seek extra amounts of external validation and recognition. Narcissists also lack empathy for others, basic human feelings. So, if you think you're being a narcissist, by calling yourself good things, you're probably not a narcissist. To explain that further, if you have thoughts of self-doubt in your head, you're like, am I a narcissist? Am I doing things that would make you a narcissist? Is setting boundaries for myself really a good thing? Am I a good person? If I'm doing this, am I being a narcissist? If you're having those thoughts, you're not a narcissist, because narcissistic people won't have those thoughts. They'll just be completely fine and go on with their day thinking, well, I've done nothing wrong. Simple as that. And we should be more mindful. Know what you want, and very much do not do things based on what you want. Do it on what you need. When I say know what you want, it's, well, acknowledge and understand that maybe your body needs things. You need to spend a little time away from your work, or you need to spend more time on your work. Do it because your heart is telling you, I think I really need this right now. Of course, I can't apply this to all the time. Even right now while I'm recording this, I'm thinking, well, I need a little bit of break from this, but I can't. You gotta do stuff. When you're really deep in and you feel like you're at your physical limit, and for me, I've almost started crying from the amount of work I've had to do at college, that's when you can take a step away. That's when you should be like, all right, self-love begins now. Based on my experiences, doing what I wanted got me into more trouble and dark paths. So be careful when picking your decisions, and maybe look into the future. Try and maybe visualize how your life is gonna be like when you take this choice, so you understand which one actually has a good effect on the long term, instead of what can satisfy you in the short term. And I know it sounds like a big hustle grustle type of video, always choose the long term happiness and all that, but it genuinely helps. Try it out. I could end the video right here, but that wouldn't be the best way to end it off. In fact, I'm not aromantic, I'm a romantic person. I've made that joke already, but that's the segue into me asking people who are aromantic some questions about Valentine's Day and love. Can you share your personal perspective on Valentine's Day and what it means to you as an aro-ace individual? Valentine's Day isn't quite interesting for myself, but it's very sweet seeing people with their Valentine and such. So for me, it's mostly a normal day. Do you have any personal traditions or activities you engage in on Valentine's Day to celebrate self-love or platonic relationships? I don't really engage in a lot of them, but if I'm told to help, I'll be glad to. Have you encountered any challenges or awkward situations related to Valentine's Day, and how do you handle them? I can't recall something like this happening to me, but if something were to happen, I think it's best to overcome it. Can you share any positive experiences or ways in which you found fulfillment and joy during Valentine's Day despite not experiencing romantic affection? Like I mentioned, I think it's very sweet seeing people make things such as gifts or cards to people they truly care about, and I once again would be glad to do this to people I also care about. In your opinion, how can society become more inclusive and understanding of asexuality, aromanticism, and diverse forms of love during holidays like Valentine's Day? They also need to understand that some people aren't interested in certain types of love and respect them as well. Is there anything you'd like to say to other asexual and aromantic individuals who may struggle with Valentine's Day or similar romantic-centric occasions? I would say that they should celebrate romantic types of things and support them all the way. But if someone were to mention something romantic to them, I would talk about it briefly and make sure the person is understanding. Yeah. Also, this is me during editing. The other person I talked to gave 20-minute answers for all of their questions, and none of them actually fit, so I cut it out. Alright, so you might be here, and I'm gonna say this right now. I'm recording this before I get the responses for the interviews, but based on what they are, regardless. I hope that some of you guys, if you guys are aromantic and asexual, I hope I've done justice to what I've said to you guys, and I hope I've done justice to what you guys feel about Valentine's Day. Right now, I don't think Valentine's Day is a bad holiday, okay? Like, I have a take right now. Valentine's Day isn't necessarily a bad holiday. I think that what our society has turned into Valentine's Day, by its incessant messages and, subliminal ideas where, like, if you don't have a girlfriend, you should kill yourself, stuff like that. That's the harmful thing. That's the harmful thing about Valentine's Day. I think that this is a mixed bag and we shouldn't be sticking to one specific thing. I am celebrating Valentine's Day. In fact, I am eating a big chocolate cake. That's what I just said. And I am gonna be watching The Good Wife. I've not watched The Good Wife ever before, but I think I'll try it out just for today. Again, this video is a little bit melancholic. There's no proper good way to end this and say, well, that's it, the problem solved. This is not a very easy problem to talk about or to solve, and I just hope I've done it enough justice. I tried to link this to Valentine's Day as much as I could, but the thing is, when you're talking about Valentine's Day, which is essentially just really saturated love, like how I imagine Valentine's Day is if you take the idea of love, put it into a juice blender, squeeze it out of all of its juices, take the juices and then concentrate the juice particles out of the water. That's what you get for Valentine's Day. That's what I feel it is. So linking aromanticism to Valentine's Day is kind of a difficult thing because I can't talk about that as a specific day. I need to talk about it as a specific idea, and I hope I've done well. If you felt something different, if you felt maybe I am aromantic, or maybe I am asexual, or maybe I just don't need another guy in my life, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe if you watch this and be like, damn, Maybe if you watched this and felt like, damn, I didn't know how these people felt like. Even though I don't personally feel like I should be single and I would be happy with a romantic partner, I hope it's given you some insight into how other people feel like, how other people think. And that's what I want to do with my videos. I'm happy that I finally got this done. This has been on my mind to complete for a very long while. This is a college assignment after all. But thank you so much. And I love you. Platonically. Because I do not actually love you. You're a person watching this YouTube video on a screen. Thank you very much.